Welcome to Blind Drawing. My name is Dave Travis and I'm your host. Let me introduce our contestants. We have Jess, Annie, and we have Vicky here on the right. Before we get to round one, let me briefly explain our rules. So the contestants will be blindfolded and given something to draw, with each round increasing in difficulty. They'll be given 3 minutes for round one. As the round gets harder, they will get more time. With that being said, each round will have the opportunity to earn more points, as it's 5 points for round one, 10 points for round two, and 15 points for round three. So let's get drawing. So for round one, you guys have to draw a pig. You have 3 minutes to draw, and try to put as much detail as you can, and when you're done, do not take your blindfolds off. All right, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, good. Go ahead.
That's a big enough pig body.
I'm just drawing two big circles. Two big circles.
I'm trying to color in his feet. I don't know how well that works.
Where's the bottom of his body? Why am I feeling it like I can feel the marker?
What are things pigs have? Pigs have ears, right?
They have
Yeah,
ears.
they have
They
big
have
ears.
triangle, kind of. Oink.
Like
Oink.
a little pig ear.
Oink, oink.
I want to give him spots. I'm gonna give him spots on my blindfold slipping.
Oh, I wish I had pencil instead of a marker.
Okay. I feel like this is a good spot for spots. Pigs have spots, right?
Yeah.
I think they're kind of like moles. Right?
They're not all, like there's birthmarks on them. They're not all pink.
I don't want it to look like a cow. I'm gonna erase some of it.
2 minutes.
Lucky you can erase. I have paper.
Do a little smile.
Wait, do you mean we're
And
at
then
2
you
minutes
give
or
him
we
a
have 2
little,
minutes left?
2 minutes left.
give him little
Okay.
oinky, like the nose things, you know, because they got nose holes.
They do have nose holes.
My
how do you-
blindfold is slipping again.
Oink.
How do you spell
Oink.
oink oink?
Okay.
O-I-N-K,
Oh, oink, oink.
O-I-N-K. You know
Oh,
what?
that
Now
would
I'm
be
gonna do
cute.
that.
Wait, how do you
No, I want to
spell
put him in a mud puddle.
it? Oh.
I think I just drew on the top of the thing, but it's okay.
I'm putting him in a mud puddle.
I hope that it's not overlapping. I didn't draw eyes. Hello, where are the eye holes?
Now I forgot about your eyes. I just want to do your eyebrows.
I'm gonna give him little like cattails and stuff too. Like they play around in the mud, right? Like
Yeah.
swamps.
Yeah, mine's gonna have a little piece of
Grass.
wheat sticking out of his mouth. Wheat. I said wheat.
I'm just trying to. I don't know what to do anymore.
I'm gonna get
Wheat.
You have 1 minute left.
I gave him a pigtail. My blindfold is slipping.
Spot.
I'll do more.
The
I
more
got
you
to, like,
say
hold
that,
it
the
up.
more mine slips. Stop.
It's falling off my face right now.
Maybe try it tighter next time. No, I'm kidding. I hate this.
I'm gonna give him a little pig friend. I think
I have, like,
a little baby pig, if you will.
I'm gonna copy you, Vicky. I'm gonna do a small thing. I have like nothing else to do.
Give him a little oink oink tail.
Amount of detail. We're gonna make it so that we're noticeable.
The boobs?
Hooves!
Oh.
10,
There
Man.
are 10 seconds left.
Spots! We're just gonna draw.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Uh,
1.
And our time is up for this round. You may take off your blindfolds.
Oh my god! Girls! Why did you actually look like a pig? What the heck happened?
There's spots everywhere. Oh, I did draw up here. Oopsie.
All right, so that is the end of round one. We
Oh
will
my God.
get, the judges will score your drawings.
The
And,
judges
yeah,
better not be biased.
we'll take a break.
Yours looks like a
Welcome back to Blind Drawing. Our judges have scored the last drawings that our contestants drew, and here they are. So Jess got 11 points, Annie got 20 points, and Vicky got 14 points. So that was round one. Now we are going to move on to round two. All right, so round 2, you guys are going to draw a fish eating a bowl of ramen. Are you ready?
Okay.
You have 3 minutes.
What?
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, begin drawing.
Circles, circles. I hope this is still working. How are you guys doing today? It's really quiet in here.
Fishy fin. I'll have to give it a
We do
a top fin.
chopsticks
Is that-
because I
what's
feel
that
that's
called? Dorsal fin?
necessary.
I'm gonna give the fish a big buff arm.
Big buff arm.
And then he's just like holding fists of ramen. Can I make his mouth open? How do I make his
Noodles
mouth
all up in here. Fish don't need arms. They have little fins and they can still hold chopsticks.
They can hold chopsticks with their little fins.
They can hold Nemo can hold chopsticks.
I'm gonna give him little bubbles. I feel like fish need little bubbles.
I feel like I've made his tail 3 times the size of his body, but that's okay.
And then I want to put like a little table under his ramen, but I don't know where his ramen
We have
is.
2 minutes.
So we're just
I
gonna.
hope this is his face because he's gonna.
I'm sort of falling over right now. Where's my fish? Where's my fish? I feel like my fish. I think my fish is right here. So I'm gonna cut off his head so that you know how fish have those little faces and they have the rest of their body.
I hope that's a slurp. I'm gonna act like it was this, even though I can't. It probably looks like trash.
I really hope the fist looks like it's holding like lots of spaghetti or ramen. It's ramen, not spaghetti.
I hope that looks
Blub. I feel like there's always like a little blub when you see a picture of a fish.
We have 1 minute remaining.
Wubble wubble dub blub.
I feel like that's blub blub. If it's not blub blub, I'm so sorry.
Wubble. Bubble.
This is stressing me out.
I don't know what else to draw.
I hope that looks okay.
What if it's like a little fish family? Wait, I have
Oh
enough
my
time to draw another
goodness.
fish.
I drew a baby fish already eating a bowl of ramen.
30.
Yeah, there's totally a fish eating ramen. That's why the fish is in the bowl.
We have 30 seconds remaining.
I hope his hand is also touching the
There's a
ramen.
fish. I hope that is actually.
Maybe they're on a little romantic date. Okay, my fish are lovers, not friends.
Kevin, please. Bubble. I need bubbles. Bubbles. No. No.
Megan, move.
No.
Get ready to move it back to Trey when we're at the end of it.
5 seconds.
2,
Bubble up. No.
1, and time.
That is the
Bubble
round.
Up, bubble up.
All right.
Look now.
You can take off your blindfolds.
Oh.
What is that?
Welcome back to Blind Drawing. Here are the scores from the last round that we had. So it looks like Jess got 20 points, Annie got 22 points, and Vicky got 45 points. Is that right? For round 3, we're doing 2-minute rounds. It's going to be a lightning round. All right, put on your blindfolds, please.
My hat is my blindfold. It has been made clear that I need to say that.
Okay, so for this round, I'm going to make you guys draw Homer Simpson eating a donut. You have 2 minutes to draw Homer Simpson eating a donut. And 3, 2, 1, draw.
Circles and oval things. I feel like I've already messed this up. Can I start over? Hope that this is okay. He's got big bulging eyes, right? I don't actually watch The Simpsons. My sister does stuff. And then he's got the little comb over.
I don't remember how
Thinning
Homer
hair.
Simpson looks, I'm not gonna lie.
We're doing Homer, right?
Yes, you're doing Homer Simpson.
Okay. Yeah, this is where his legs are. This is just gonna be A-okay.
He's just in a white plane. I feel like he has nostrils. Oh, he has an ear. I don't think I drew an ear.
Uh-oh. I don't either. It's a tiny little ear though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a little circle thing.
Gotta add all the
I don't know where any of this
sprinkles.
stuff is.
Jess, you are not confident. How's your day? How's your day?
Yeah, they're concentrating.
Maybe we're not gonna concentrate on. What does Homer's nose look like? Does Homer have a nose?
Yes, he has a nose.
I don't watch The Simpsons. What is this? What kind of shirt does he wear?
30.
We have 30 seconds remaining.
It's just a big circle.
Finish those drawings up.
I know that his stomach hangs out of his shirt. I do remember that. I'm gonna hate it.
We will take a break. And then 4 seconds. We'll do this. 5.
Where is
5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and quit drawing.
I wasn't drawing, I was writing.
Oh God.
All right, so we will take a break, and then we will tally up the scores, and then we will decide the winner. Thank you. Welcome back to Blind Drawing. We have our scores from our final round here. So, looks like Jess got 42 points, Annie got 43 points, and Vicky got 35 points. And as you can see from the total, it looks like Vicky won our blind drawing game. Yep, congratulations, Vicky.
You won a trip to Bermuda.
You won nothing. All right, wrap it up. All right, we're gonna, thank you, that was our show. Goodbye.
Good morning. I'm Holden and this is Campfire Stories with DMP. And today's episode will be The Man in the Ice Machine. Now, this all starts back when I used to work at a gas station, maybe a few months back or whenever. And I had quite a few jobs, a few things that I had to do. I would clean, take care of food, you know, general activities. But one job that I had to do was taking care of an ice machine, scooping up ice, putting it into a bag, and letting customers have it. Though I never could feel right around it. Nothing ever seemed correct. First, it just sounded funny in the first place, but I mean, that's nothing to go off on. But one night, whilst I was scooping up ice, I was putting into these big 20-pound bags. I was just shuffling in, such not, when I caught onto something. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it was something. I scooped it up and I just kind of took a look at it for a second and I saw a finger. I dropped whatever trowel that I was using at the time and I stepped back. I didn't even really notice what I saw. But on the floor right next to my feet was a finger with some decorative ring and nothing to attach it, and any less. I ran. I didn't know what else to do. And I haven't been to that gas station ever since. No body has ever been discovered yet or anything else, but it was definitely something.
Hi, I'm Annie, and I'm going to be telling you about the legend of Tailypo. Long ago, there lived a man and his 3 dogs out in the Appalachian Mountains. He lived in a little quaint cabin with his 3 dogs, I Know, You Know, and Calico. During the winter months, it got very cold, and there wasn't much to eat. Even when hunting and trapping, there still wasn't a whole lot for him and his dogs to eat. So one night, in the cold winter, he and his 3 dogs were sitting around his campfire, and he was listening to his stomach growl. When, out of the blue, he heard scratching noises. He looked all around but couldn't see anything until he looked up, and there in his ceiling was a hole with a giant, black, fuzzy head sticking into it. The thing dropped down to the floor, and he just sat and stared as it clawed its way around the floor. He grabbed the axe off his wall, and he lunged for the beast, cutting off his tail. As the beast screeched a horrible demonic sound and lunged for the hole in the ceiling. As it ran away, Old Man McGregor picked up the tail, looked at it. "This could be enough to eat," he said, and he grabbed his knife off the table and he skinned it and threw it into the pot above the fire. He gave the scraps of what was left of the tail to his dogs, and he went to bed, all fed and happy. But then, in the middle of the night, he woke up to hear scratching sounds. Odd, he thought, as he got up from his bed and looked around his one-room cabin. The sounds came from what sounded like the far wall. But he looked, and there was nothing there. Maybe just a mouse, he thought, and he went back to bed. Then, maybe 10 minutes later, he heard more scratching sounds, but this time closer, as if it were on the wall to his right. Maybe just another mouse, he thought, and he went back to bed. And then, maybe a half hour goes by, and he hears scratching on the window. So he starts to get a little annoyed because he's losing sleep. So he sends his dogs, I Know, You Know, Calico, sick 'em. He sends his dogs out, only 2 of them come back, and he hears this eerie, eerie voice. Tailypo, Tailypo, I want my Tailypo. And he sits up, the hair on the back of his neck standing on end, as he looks at his 2 left dogs. And he thinks maybe the one just got lost, and he's going insane, because it is cold, and it is the middle of the night, and he hasn't gotten much sleep. So he goes back to bed. Another 10 minutes goes by. He hears more scratching sounds all over the building, and he goes out, he sends his dogs, and only one comes back. As he sits there looking at his singular dog, he hears, Tailypo, Tailypo, I want my Tailypo. And he thinks he's going insane, or he thinks he's going insane because he has lack of sleep and it's cold. So he goes back to bed, and then maybe 10, 20 minutes later, he hears more scratching. This time, much, much closer. So he sends his dog back out to find the sound, but nothing comes back. Odd, he thought. Maybe they just all got lost. So he grabs his axe from his chairside table and puts it on his bedstand. And he shuts his eyes, and maybe not even 5 seconds later, he hears scratching at the foot of his bed. Louder and more scratching sounds. So he sits up and he creaks to the edge of his bed. He looks over, and there's nothing there. So he leans back, thinking he's going insane because of lack of sleep. And he just leans there, axe in hand. And then he hears it. Tailypo, Tailypo, I want my Tailypo. From the corner of the room, you can just see these big red eyes staring at him as it gets closer and closer. And he asks it, "What do you want from me?" And it repeats, "Taily-po, Taily-po, I want my Taily-po," as it jumps on the bed and stares him face to face. He says, "I don't have your Taily-po." And he thinks, "Oh my Lord, I ate your Taily-po." And the creature shrieks and howls this demonic howl, "Taily-po, Taily-po, I want my Taily-po," as he starts to claw away at the man, as he shrieks and screams in terror and pain and agony, until there's nothing left to be heard. The monster, then leaving the body, scurries out the hole he caved in earlier that night, and he says, "Taily-po, Taily-po, I found my Taily-po." And the man was never heard from again.
Hi, my name is Riley, and the story that I'm about to tell you is called The Four Dragons. The Four Dragons is a tale from China where, long ago, the story says, there were no lakes or rivers, only the Eastern Sea, home to four dragons: the Long Dragon, the Yellow Dragon, the Black Dragon, and the Pearl Dragon. These dragons swam in the sea and flew in the air above. One day, as they were playing in the clouds, the Pearl Dragon saw a disturbing sight he shared with the others. He saw the people down below praying for rain. The land was in a drought. The plants were withering, and the people had nothing to eat. The dragons realized the people would die if it did not rain soon. So the Long Dragon suggested they visit the Jade Emperor, who was in charge of all affairs in heaven and earth, and beg for rain. After they made their request, the Jade Emperor agreed to send rain. The dragons happily went back to their home, but the rain never came. After 10 days, the dragons realized that the Jade Emperor didn't truly care about the people, and it was up to them to provide rain. The Long Dragon came up with the idea of scooping water out of the Eastern Sea and spraying it towards the sky, where it would fall on the earth like rain. All the dragons agreed and followed through with the plan, even knowing the Jade Emperor would be displeased when he found out. The people were overjoyed when the rain fell, but the god of the sea reported the dragon's behavior to the Jade Emperor, who was furious. He had the four dragons arrested and imprisoned under 4 mountains. The dragons never regretted their decision and determined to continue to do good for the people. They turned themselves into 4 rivers, which flowed past the high mountains and deep valleys, crossing the land from the west to the east, and finally emptied into the sea. Thus, they became China's 4 great rivers.
Hello, my name is Zachary, and I'm going to tell you the story about Mr. Hops. Once upon a time, there was a frog named Mr. Hops. Mr. Hops was a rather hungry frog. One day, as he was hopping around looking for a quick snack, a honeybee flew by. That honeybee was known as Mr. Bee. Mr. Hops watched as Mr. Bee buzzed along, and he was filled with this random sense of rage. Mr. Hops' rage grew more and more, and he stood on his back legs and began walking closer to the small bee that had put himself in a corner. Mr. Bee was standing and watching the frog walk closer and closer to him, his knees shaking. And in the blink of an eye, Mr. Hops attacked the poor little bee. The fight went on, and Mr. Bee was trying to fight for his life. Mr. Hops, who was now standing over Mr. Bee, told him how foolish he was for leaving the hive. He lifted his webbed foot and went to step on him, but then the bee let out the highest buzz he could muster up. Leaving the frog confused, so confused in fact, he didn't notice a swarm of honeybees flying right towards him. Suddenly, Mr. Hops was knocked back by 2 little bees. Confused at what just happened, Mr. Hops stood up and looked at all the other bees now standing in front of Mr. Bee. Mr. Hops went in for another attack, the bees not letting him get the chance. The swarm repeatedly stung him over and over again. The bees carried off their injured friend, leaving Mr. Hops laying in the grass, writhing in pain. The frog then learned one important thing that day, that all bees are good bees. You should always be nice to bees. Thank you for watching Campfire Stories with DMP.